Alright, so I have here a Leatherman. This is a Leatherman Free P4. I'm not sure why they call it free. Um, Maybe because it, as far as marketing this thing, I think they meant it to be one-handed use, so maybe that's what it means by free. Free frees your other hand, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But anyways, this one is it's magnetic. The two handle sides come together magnetically. So let's actually look at that magnetic action here. I think the magnet somewhere in here. I think it's this little. It might be this little thing here, but I should put this. See, that's magnetic right there. That's definitely more magnetic right there. That center strip, stronger. So yes, so I think it's that center strip right here. Is where the magnet is. So let's actually look at that. So I'm closing it. Let me get the pliers closed. There's no resistance on that. Closing it. Oh, let's see that last, I don't know, 10 millimeters. It sucks. It comes together. That's the magnet coming together right there. A little action right there. All right. So that's the only spot that's magnetized. Nothing else on here is magnetized. So the needle nose snaps into the little joint right there. You can see where my fingernail is. All right, snaps in. So it uses that. There's no spring. The needle nose is not spring loaded, so you have to actually physically push the needle nose apart. And that's how most pliers are, anyways. Probably the most common used pliers would be slip joint pliers. And those things don't have any needle nose, or you use channel locks, or even like regular needle nose. They usually don't have spring loaded unless it's like those small little micro needle nose. Those ones are spring loaded and they do spread apart by themselves. But this one's a little bit bigger, I would say. A little bit more utility use. So yeah, so no spring loaded. I guess it might be kind of nice with spring loaded. Anyways, let's look at this some more. So once you're in the needle nose position, the handle here, it with the flat end of the handle here, it curves over, right? It rolls over a little bit. So it's basically it's rounded, right? It's rounded, so it's a little bit more comfortable. And when I'm holding it, the parts I feel that comes out at me, anyways, is the ends over here. These ends, this little end here. This is the locking mechanism for the other tools. That's about the only spot I really feel, and also the little pocket clip, little clip right here. You might feel that as well. Otherwise, it doesn't feel too bad. It is, because this is has a lot of tools. It is a little bit thicker in the handle, so the handle feels kind of bulky. And it's not that rounded. You look at it, it's very square. Right? You look at it, it's very square. Right? That's the needle nose position. Let's close this back this way. The cool thing about that is that there's nothing that you have to like unlock to get it out of the needle nose. You just just have to overcome that little spot where it pops in right there, like so, and it's just snaps in and out. So that's what locks it, but it doesn't, you don't have to like push anything. So that's cool. I like that. So these right here again are the little spring locks for the tools. For example, if I take out the blade here, the thing you could do with one hand, and in this straight edge knife right here, it actually sticks out more than anything else. Everything else is basically flush with the handle. Everything else is flush with the handle, except for the straight edge blade. So it sticks out a little bit further. It's a little bit easier to just basically thumb it, one finger, one thumb, anyways, one hand. And right here, this is the locking mechanism. So right now you can't unlock it unless you push on this, push push it towards the center of the handle, then you could, you know, unlock it, or, you know, basically one hand like that, like so. Keeps your thumb clear of this part right here when we using your thumb right here, so that's kind of safety. If you can, yeah, so basically it keeps everything clear of the blade, like that. Also on this other side here, this is the serrated edge instead of the straight edge. But, you know, obviously if you're right-handed, you're not going to be able to open that. You have to use it, if you want to do one-handed anyways, you got to use your left hand, like so. And on this other side, with your left, or, well, I guess technically you could use one hand as well for the scissors. This is the scissors. And back to your right hand, I mean, you know, about 90% of people are right-handed, so only 10% of people are left. But anyways, on this side right here is the saw. So one finger the saw, right? So like that. And on the outside here, obviously for all the tools to pop out, the handle here is not rolled. It doesn't have that rolled edge. So so holding it from this side, here, it feels much more square. The edge here feels much more square, and you feel it. You know, you feel it kind of like digging into your hands a little bit. But then again, you know, this is a multi-tool. You know, this is something that you kind of carry around with you all the time. Usually, at least that's its purpose. So that way, you need like a little scissor or a little screwdriver or a little knife for, you know, just really quickly use, you know, a quick use of it. It's right there and handy. That's what it's meant for. That's how it's designed. These multi-tools are not designed to be used all day long. You know, for example, you don't want to be using the straight edge all day long. You know, if you want to use a knife all day long, straight edge knife all day long, you know, you get a knife for that. You know, same thing with any other tool on here. You know, just like the needle nose. You know, if you want to use a needle nose pliers all day long, you don't want to use this thing. You want to use a specific needle nose plier, right? That would work a lot better than this one would. You know, as far as comfort and how it handles and the feel in your hands. So this is, you know, that's how multi-tools are. They're kind of, you know, do everything but not very good at any specific thing, right? What's the saying? You do all the trades but master of none, right? So yeah, so and I believe everything here is stainless steel. Oh, excuse me. Oh, allergy season. Stainless steel. Yeah, everything here is stainless steel. The blade edge, the straight edge, and I believe also the serrated edge. It doesn't show on here. It does show it on the straight edge, though. So it doesn't say on here. Well, I thought it would. Oh, that's interesting. But anyways, it says on the box. It says that the knife edge is a 420C stainless steel. So since 420 is the type of stainless steel, and the C designation is the carbon content. So 420, there's a B, and C. So 420A, for example, has the lowest carbon content. The C has the higher one. And the A is, you know, low carbon content. And carbon in steel makes it harder. So with a tool, you know, especially like a knife, as a tool, you want it to be hard so that way it could keep that cutting edge longer, right? You don't want to use a knife and that cutting edge dull out really fast. So 420A is something, you know, like a cheap knife that you find at Walmart for like 10-15 bucks. And the knife edge, the cutting edge doesn't last very long. It doesn't stay sharp very long. So you have to sharpen very often. And as you get into the 420B, then C, it gets more expensive. And the cutting edge lasts longer. So this is a 420C on the blade. I think the other tools on here are not that same, you know, are not 420C. There's something else. I don't know what they are. You know, Leatherman doesn't specify. All they say is, I know for sure, is their the straight edge is a 420C. I believe also their serrated edge as well. But everything else I don't know. But they should all be magnetic though. I don't have a magnet on me. So usually, you know, stainless steel when it's magnetic versus non-magnetic is that's how you know if it's tool steel or not. Actually, let me grab my magnet real fast. All right, so here's my little magnet in here. And you see see that it sticks. All right. So that's a magnet end. This dog bowl that I have everything in, it's stainless steel as well. But, oh, actually, I feel a little bit of magnetism right there. So down here, I feel very light. It's very light magnetism. So that's very interesting. I thought this was a 308, or excuse me, 304 stainless, food grade stainless, but it might not be because I feel a little bit of magnetism. It might be like a 303 maybe. So anyways, you know, this dog bowl is from China and it's cheap. This big old, this is like a 2-gallon dog bowl, and it's only like maybe $5 or $6 or something like that. It's pretty cheap. So they probably don't want to use the food grade stainless because food grade stainless is it's a little bit more expensive than the lower grade stainless. So there's definitely magnetism right here. I can feel it right at the rim here. It's stronger. It could be because there's a little bit more mass right there at this corner, or because this corner when they shaped it, you know, when they rolled this thing, when they spun it and shaped it, it changed the crystalline structure. And that's how steels are magnetized or not magnetized. Is that it's based on that crystalline structure. That's what, you know, the change in crystalline structure will make it magnetic or not. So there's definitely more magnet right there. But anyways, let's go to my back to the Leatherman. So the handle is, whoa, that's a strong magnet right there. So it's definitely very strongly magnetic. So it's definitely a 2-grade stainless, which is a 400 series usually. So if it's a 300 series, it's usually not non-magnetic. They call it austenitic. I think that's how you pronounce it. That's how you know it's non-magnetic. The magnetic ones are ferrite, stainless steel, and what's the other one? Martinetic. I think that's how you pronounce it. So those are the two stainless steel that's magnetic. It's ferritic stainless steel and martinetic or magnetic, and the austenitic is non-magnetic. So everything on here so far is magnetic, even the little bolts, screws. Yep, that screw is also magnetic. Even the little release spring is magnetic. All magnetic. Yep, everything magnetic. So this is, you know, obviously it's like I said, it's two grade stainless. That's why it's magnetic. Food grade is not. Food grade can be magnetic, but when you do make it magnetic, it loses its stainless properties, or I wouldn't say it loses it. It just reduces its stainless property. So remember what stainless is. It's just stainless. It's not stain proof. So people confuse that. People think that stainless doesn't rust. It does rust. It just takes longer to rust. And if it's not non-magnetic stainless, it's even more stainless versus magnetic stainless. It's not as stainless as non-magnetic. Okay, so what was I doing? Oh, so let's get back to the tool. So one thing I wanted to do, because, you know, I'm right-handed, and, you know, 90% of people are right-handed. I like the fact that the Leatherman made the main blade, you know, straight edge blade, so that where you could take it off, you know, or open it up with your right hand. But for the serrated blade, you can't open it up with your right hand. You have to use your left hand if you want to do it, you know, one-handed. Because, you know, obviously, if I hold it like this, how the hell am I going to do that? I mean, I just have to hold it from this side and use my fingers instead of my thumb. But man, oh man, my fingers are not as strong as my thumb. Okay, so that didn't work. I'm gonna push it out with my middle finger right there. The finger that could reach it. Oh, I can't. I don't have the power. If I flip it around this way, I could do that, but that's kind of silly, right? So that's kind of silly. Whereas this side is the saw blade. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna move the saw blade over to this side, and the serrated edge blade over to this side. There is a difference. If you look down here, you see the thickness. The serrated blade is thicker than the saw blade, right? So I was looking into this, and it seems like I could just, unscrew the pivoting pin or bolt, and just take that out and slide basically these two out and flip them around. I don't have to do anything about. If you look at this right here, the two ends of those two tools and these four in the middle are more tools. These little two thin little sides right here. These are the springs for this release mechanism. So let me see if you guys can see that. If I'm gonna do this, you guys can see how this right here. This right here is one piece right here, right? And it moves and it pushes on these two when I do that. And that's the basically this solid piece right here, this one piece right here. It's the locking mechanism for the tools. So this end right here, it's basically like a hook, right? Look at those ends there, they're like a hook. And when you open them up like so, they hook into this piece down over here. So that's how they stay locked. The tools locks. So these two little thin ones here, this thin one and that thin one, is a spring for this lock. So that spring is also on the same pin, or I shouldn't say pin. I should say bolts, pivot bolts. And on this side of here, there's pins. But looking at this, the pin is only for the locking mechanism. It doesn't. The pin right here doesn't hold anything else but the locking mechanism. So I shouldn't have to touch that. And everything as far as the gap here, the bigger side versus the thinner side, everything's just gonna have to shift over to the left a little bit, so that way it makes space for this to go over here, and this one will take up that space, right? But everything else should be able to slide. So that's what I'm gonna do with this. Hopefully it should work. And I looked at the bottom right here on this side, and also on this side, and both sides over here is actually on this end. Both sides is actually the same thickness. So seeing this part of the tool here, this is the same thickness. As far as clearance wise, the clearance is the same. There's nothing interfering. There's nothing there basically. And looking at the dimensions, looking this direction, they almost have the same profile, the same shape almost. They have this kind of a katana shape tip right there. Same with that, right? Very similar shape. They basically take up about the similar space. So I think I could swap these two over, so that way I could have the serrated edge on this side, so that way I could just open the serrated edge with one hand instead of with my right hand, instead of using the using my left hand or having to use two hands. So that's what I'm gonna do.